My first days in a Vermont women's prison introduced me to a brand new dimension of pure evil, when a group of inmates used fingernail clippers to butcher my long hair, while the guards just sat back and laughed. I was young, naive, and a hippie at heart. After 12 days in the hole, I was finally moved to a regular unit. I dragged my bag to my cell, where my new roommate was a quiet 65-year-old woman with only one leg. But the second I turned around, 4 or 5 girls were standing at my door. The leader was a red-haired girl with small, beady, rat-like eyes. She demanded to know if I had drugs. When I told her no, she asked why I wasn't dope sick then. In her mind, if I wasn't violently ill, it meant I was holding. And in prison, there is only one safe place to hide your stash, and they call it your purse. The heavy steel door slammed shut, warning us a guard was coming. The girls scattered. My roommate quietly warned me to watch out for that red-haired girl. Over the next few weeks, this girl made it her mission to turn my life into a living hell. She would bust into my bathroom stall, trying to catch me with drugs. She was relentless. I just wanted to be left alone. I would sit in the rec yard grass making dandelion crowns, trying to protect my peace. But the red-haired girl grew more ferocious every day that passed without me getting sick. I knew she was evil, but I had no idea the depths of her depravity. One day, I was sitting in the grass when I saw her and her followers walking in my direction. They paced around me like vultures. I was terrified they were going to hold me down and violate me looking for drugs. Instead, she had a completely different, twisted plan for her own entertainment. Suddenly, she let out a blood-curdling howl. I jumped 3 feet in the air. She pointed at me and screamed at the top of her lungs that I was infested with bugs. She yelled that I had lice and demanded they get my buggy ass out of there. The entire yard stopped. Everyone was staring and laughing. The guards came rushing over. Even though I had already passed a lice check upon intake, the guards treated me like a walking plague. The guard forced me to keep a 6-foot distance as he escorted me to the medical unit. It was the ultimate walk of shame, paraded in front of a growing crowd of laughing inmates. The second the heavy door to the nurse's office clicked shut, I completely broke down. I was sobbing and shaking uncontrollably. The nurse practitioner was an absolute angel. She listened to what happened, got tears in her eyes, and immediately knew exactly who was behind it. She spent 15 minutes checking my scalp and found absolutely nothing. She handed me a bottle of lice shampoo anyway. She said I didn't need to worry because I was perfectly clean. But she knew if the red-haired girl didn't see me treat my hair, the torture would never stop. She told me that hurt people hurt people. I took the bottle and made the dreaded walk back to my unit. When the door slammed behind me, I saw a scene straight out of a psychological thriller. Every woman in the unit had tied a plastic trash bag over her head. They had crafted little knots in them, mocking me. I kept my head down and went to the showers to delouse my completely clean head. The red-haired girl stood outside screaming about how disgusting my hippie hair was. And the guards? They loved it. They yelled offensive things right back, contributing to the drama because they had zero fear of repercussions. The layout of the prison made it even worse. The women's unit shared a middle office with windows facing the men's unit. Later that day, I saw male inmates laughing hysterically, pointing at their heads, calling their buddies over to look at the dirty girl. I wanted the floor to open up and swallow me whole. But then I heard the red-haired girl getting loud again. She called my name. I walked out, looked her dead in the eyes, and asked what she wanted. She smirked and asked to check my head so they could finally take their trash bag hats off. I told her to have at it. What followed was a literal theatrical production. She grunted and pretended to crack invisible eggs between her fingernails. She screamed into my ears while the whole unit rolled around laughing. The guard just sat there, smiling. After her fake examination, she claimed I was infested. Whole colonies of bugs. I had reached my breaking point. I stood up, got in her face, and asked what I had to do to make it stop. She told me the only way they would know the bugs were gone was if I let them cut my hair. I quietly told her that was never going to happen. She warned me it was game on until my hair was gone. Over the next 2 weeks, the torture escalated to unspeakable levels. They even put human feces on my pillow. After 2 weeks of relentless abuse, I finally caved. I reasoned my hair would grow back, and I would have given them a limb just to get a moment of peace. The red-haired girl smiled and told me she wouldn't even be the one doing it. She assigned her tall friend to be my barber. When I asked how they were going to get scissors in a prison, they just laughed. They weren't using scissors. They were using fingernail clippers. I sat in the middle of the dayroom, which had turned into a stage for my degradation. My heart was pounding so hard I could hear it echoing in my ears. As the first lock of my beautiful hair fell to the cold floor, I knew this had absolutely nothing to do with hygiene. This was about power. This was about stripping away my dignity and turning me into a living punchline. With every single calculated snip of those tiny metal clippers, my reflection morphed into a grotesque caricature. They didn't just cut it short, they destroyed it. They used the clippers to chop a crooked line from ear to ear, leaving about ½ an inch of hair. Then they moved up 1/4 of an inch and did another crooked line. They did this all the way up and around my head, leaving a bizarre tuft right in the middle on top. It looked like a mangled, jagged version of the kid in play haircut, completely uneven and chaotic. Words cannot even describe how hideous it was. But through it all, I made a promise to myself. I sat there and let them butcher me, but I refused to react. I refused to let them see me broken. I would not give them that final piece of power. That haircut haunted me for decades. I never got even a trim for 20 years after that day because the trauma was so deeply embedded in my mind. But sitting in that chair, feeling those clippers tear through my hair, something shifted. A spark of absolute determination ignited in my chest. I realized that the system was entirely corrupt. The guards were just as sick as the inmates, abusing their power because they had no control in their own pathetic lives outside those walls. I survived that prison. I eventually worked my way to the top of the food chain there. I had countless opportunities to get revenge on that red-haired girl, but I never touched her. I just made sure she never got her hands on anything she wanted when I was running things. Honestly, I pitied her. I pitied the fact that she had to wake up every day hating herself so much that she had to destroy others just to feel something. That brutal, humiliating haircut was meant to break me, but instead it built an armor around my soul that nothing could ever pierce again. It taught me that no matter how much they take from you on the outside, they can never touch who you are on the inside unless you hand them the keys.
That day they took my hair. They took my dignity, my safety, and for a while, they even took the way I saw myself. But they did not take me. And that is why I tell these stories now, not because I want anyone's pity, but because I know someone watching this is surviving their own version of that prison. Maybe nobody can see the walls around you. Maybe the people hurting you are counting on your silence. But hear me when I tell you this. What they did to you is not who you are. Their cruelty does not get to become your identity, and your worst chapter does not get to write your ending. Stay long enough to reclaim the story. Stay long enough to become living proof that they failed to destroy you. If this story reached you, please subscribe and share it with someone who needs that reminder today. You can find me everywhere at @ProNotPeer, and you can visit SamanthaBushika.com for more true stories, support, resources, products, and free transformational tools to help you rebuild your life from the inside out. I'm with you every step of the way. Until next time, my lovelies, take care.